What's going on, everybody? I'm CW. Didn't think I would be making videos. Again, I was just trying to document a watch that I just purchased. Didn't think this channel would be about watches, but obviously for my second video, just due to the response and the views and everything that's been great, really appreciate everybody who subscribed or made a comment just to show off my main watch collection. So just as a quick preface, I say main watch collection because my watch range is huge. I have a Patek, I have a AP, but I also have a Casio calculator watch. I also have a Timex Weekender. I have a very large, broad watch collection. So this is just the main, more higher end pieces. Not to say that they're better or worse than the more value pieces. Maybe next video could be a more affordable collection, but this is just the higher end pieces. And to keep with time of the video, I'm going to try to cover each watch in about 60 seconds. Feel free to skip to the watch that you want to see below, but otherwise, let's get into it. This is the Batman on the Jubilee. It's a 2023. I believe the reference number is 126710. It's my favorite bracelet that Rolex makes. It's actually a very stunning watch. I think the Pepsi gets all the credit. It's a GMT Master 2 Rolex Batman on the Jubilee. 40 millimeters in size. Specs are on the screen. Just a beautiful, beautiful watch. I like it because it's not too flashy. It's an everyday wear watch. I think it's a great piece, maybe a one watch collection type piece. Beautiful watch on my absolute favorite bracelet that Rolex makes. All right, next up we have a recent addition. One of my favorite watches is the watch of the moment for sure. Probably gets the most wrist time out of my collection by far. This is the IWC Ingenieur. It's a Gerald Genta designed, 40 millimeter. It wears much smaller, I think. It's just a great overall watch. Beautiful Aqua dial. The thing about this watch that I didn't know that I just found out that I think a lot of people would find as a positive, I just personally find as a negative. Only the Aqua color. There's a black, a white, and an aqua color, which this is the Aqua. Only the Aqua have these polished end links on the bracelet. The others are brushed all the way through, and I just think that looks so much better with the brushed. For some reason, this particular one only comes with the polished bracelets. I asked IWC, they said I couldn't replace it, but looking at the watch and the way this bracelet gets removed, I'm pretty sure that I can. So I'm going to look into that, but right now, this is one of my absolute favorite watches. It does have a closed case back. I wish it did have something more exposed. I do love the bracelet. I think it wears, it falls perfectly. I don't know if you can see that, to where it doesn't stray aside. It's just a great, perfect size, perfect look, great watch. It's definitely the watch of the moment right now in my collection. Just that new fever. But this is the IWC Ingenieur 40 millimeter from IWC. All right, I wanted to go over all the Gerald Genta design watches because that's kind of the reason I got them. They're definitely hype. That's on me. New to watch collecting. It's only been 6 months. But I wanted to go over all the Gerald Genta designs together. So the 3 Gerald Genta designs, if you don't know, are the Patek Nautilus, the AP Royal Oak, and the IWC Ingenieur. So with that, this is the AP Royal Oak. It's the 15500. It's the 41 millimeter in the classic blue. Also a very recent purchase. Just picked this up. It's the most recent purchase in my collection right now at the higher end. Was lucky enough to get the call, or I don't know if it's lucky. I think the market's changing, meaning that if you want to go buy this type of watch, I think you can. I think Patek and Rolex are still the only ones that you just can't show up and get. Or maybe I was lucky, not really sure. This one definitely has an exposed movement. It's absolutely beautiful. Don't know if you can see that or not. It's an absolutely beautiful movement. The brushing on this bracelet is absolutely phenomenal. And I'm running over a little bit over a minute on this one, but I just want to say something. When I got this watch, I definitely was in the hype mode. But then when I got the Patek, which we'll talk about in a second, I just wasn't very, very impressed. So when they made the call for this one, I almost just said, hey, don't worry about it. I won't take it. But the quality on this watch, the brushing on this bracelet, it is absolutely superb. This is one of those watches that I feel meets the hype, and I feel like it's only one of maybe 2 watches in my collection that the hype is just so overblown, but it's actually deserved. That's what I'll say about this watch. It's the classic blue look. It's the AP Royal Oak 15500. All right, to finish up the Gerald Genta design watches, this is by far the highest value watch in my collection as far as the current market value. Now, I have to try to stay within 60 seconds on this, so let me just get to the point. This is a very underwhelming watch. I got into watch collecting and I was told Patek is the highest end of watches. It's the most desirable watch. It's the watch that you want to get. And I was just sold on that. And I think not many people get to hold this watch in hand. And I think when you actually hold this watch in hand, something hits you. Yes, it is designed to be light. It's about 100 grams, a little over 100 grams of weight. It's razor thin. Don't know if the camera can show that off. It's razor thin. And I think what people don't understand about this watch is it's so light. And I know that's by design. And it's just not anything that great and impressive. I understand the watchmaking behind it. I understand the history, the hype. But as a daily wear, it's really nothing spectacular. It just feels a little flimsy. I have the old clasp right here, where it's just a very interesting watch for the hype. I'm never probably going to sell a watch, but if I were, this would be the watch that I sell. I'm probably never going to own a Patek again. The way I got this watch is a whole nother video in itself. I am not a veteran of watch collecting. I just got in it. I should not own this watch. The only reason that I do is a very lucky story. I don't want to mention the jeweler of why I was able to get this watch, but I got it directly from Patek. Let's just say that. And the story is a whole video by itself. But again, lucky to have it. But that's what's crazy is I don't love it. It never gets worn in my collection, just again, for safety reasons, but two, just because it's just not my favorite. But I know that's very controversial. I know that's not the way to get off this video, to show what most people consider the grail of watches as a negative on my part. And again, it's not negative, it's just underwhelming. It's still a great watch, still very beautiful with a sunburst dial right there, if you can see that. And this is the 5711. This is the 2023, the year right before they quit making it and before they discontinued it. So this is the last one, or last year they made this watch. So this is the Patek 5711 Nautilus. All right, next up, since we've covered Swiss watches, some higher end watches, let's talk about the Japanese watch. This is a Grand Seiko GMT spring drive. It's a 40 millimeter, which is a good size for a spring drive. It's got that gliding second hand, which I believe is the marquee sign of a spring drive and the marquee draw of the brand of Grand Seiko. Grand Seiko also has some wonderful automatics, and they grow their own quartz crystals as well. But I think the big draw to the average consumer is the spring drive. This is a great watch. I do wear it. It does get daily wear. The only negative I'll say about this watch is that it is very, very thick. I don't know the exact thickness, and I don't know if the camera is going to show that perfectly well. It also has a closed case back instead of an exposed case back, so a little something there as well. But it's a little heavy. The bracelet is also underwhelming, and I hate to sound negative. I love the watch. It's just that if I could trade this in for a regular plain face spring drive, not one with these little flashier indices, a little thickness. I don't need the GMT complication either. We can talk about that in another video. I do love the watch though. I'm glad I have a spring drive collection. I definitely wanted to show off and showcase the Japanese. It is a beautiful watch. But this is the SBGE 253 sports model spring drive. Okay, staying with the Japanese, this is a limited edition homage to the 1963 or 65 original King Seiko. If you pull up, there's tons of videos on the original. You can find them for about $1,000 plus or minus depending on the condition. But this is a remake. This one was retail $3,300. It's the only difference between this one and the old one is obviously a modern movement. It has a modern sapphire, and it has the date. The original one does not have the date window. This one has the date. I would have preferred the date not be on there. This is also not the original strap. It comes on a beautiful crocodile strap, original, and a cool 1960s Seiko buckle. This is just some Amazon aftermarket strap, just because I wanted to protect the strap it came in. It comes with the limited edition number on the back. This one is 1473 of 3000 with the gold King Seiko logo imprint on the back of the watch. This is actually one of my favorite watches. The only reason I don't wear it all the time is because it is more of a dress piece. It's a classic Japanese design. A lot of the originals are going for sale because I think people just love this watch. And this is just getting that beautiful, timeless, classic design with a modern movement, a modern sapphire crystal, so it's kind of built to last. And just the quality of it, it's just the perfect weight. I believe it's a 38 millimeter, which is just my perfect size. 36 to 38 is just where I'm leaning toward nowadays, now that I'm kind of growing in my watch journey. This is the King Seiko, I want to say it's the SJE083. Apologies if that's incorrect, but I believe it is. This is one of my favorite watches in my collection. It's the King Seiko re-release. Beautiful brushing. All right, time for a beautiful watch. This is the Omega Aqua Terra 38 millimeter terracotta. This watch is stunning. I don't think that the video is going to do it justice. It's like Lake Tahoe. I don't know if anybody lives in that part of the country, but you look at pictures of Lake Tahoe, it looks beautiful, but it looks way more beautiful when you see it in person. I think that's what this watch is. If it looks great in the video, it looks even better in person. I love the size, 38 millimeter. This is also a new bracelet for Omega when they released it. I just love it. It's got polished inlays on the inside, brushed on the outside. It's got an exposed movement. It's a coaxial 8800 movement. So really cool exposed movement. And it's just the perfect size. I mean, I'm wearing a hoodie right now, shorts and tennis shoes, and it literally can go with literally anything. I just love this watch. I think it goes with literally everything. So just to give you a portrayal of how well it wears, even just with a hoodie. It looks louder than it is. It's very subtle. It's just that I have a light over my phone right here that's doing the recording. But this is just a beautiful watch, beautiful size. I love this watch. All right, so I want to cover these at the same time because I think it's a little ridiculous that I have to. These are both the Oris Big Crown ProPilot 41 millimeter. Let me explain why I have two. So this is the first one. This was the Big Crown limited edition Okavango. Again, very inspired by YouTube. Also, my friend Austin, who's the one who kind of got me into watches, this was his favorite watch. It did have a very unique green dial at the time, which I did not have. And it has a great story behind it. If you don't know more, feel free to look it up, or maybe we can have another video. But this is the Oris Okavango. I love this watch, just a little big for my current watch taste, but I used to wear it all the time. And the reason I have two is, number one, this one was 60% off. There was a place that I went to recently in the middle of nowhere, Indiana, that had a jewelry store, and they were having a big sale on some huge brands. 60% off on this brand. I had seen this watch recently in my favorite store here where I live in Nashville, and it always spoke to me, but I never bought it because I said I already own one. Why would I get another one? This is the cheapest watch I believe Oris makes. It has the Sellita SW200 movement in it, but something just speaks to me about it. And I know it's super basic. It's literally just on a blue deployant clasp strap with leather on the inside. It is just a basic blue dial with just time and date. But something about this watch has just really always spoke to me. It might just be because less is more and it's just so basic. But 60% off, and it's always kind of spoke to me, and that's what matters. You know, I've got some hype watches in here that I bought, like that Patek that I mentioned, that I'm not in love with. It was just, I was influenced to buy it, and it was hype. You should buy watches for what you love, and I don't see anybody raving about some, you know, cheap Oris that they make, but this is, you know, not that it's cheap, but it's the most affordable Oris that they make. But this is, I don't know, it's just a watch that speaks to me, and watch collecting should be about you. So this is these are the Oris Big Crown ProPilot 41 millimeters. And then the Okavango. All right, next up we're going to talk about the Nomos Tangente Limited Edition. This is a 2024 Watches and Wonders Limited Edition release. They released 31 colors for Watches and Wonders, and I looked at all 31 because I've always wanted to get a Nomos, so very recent purchase. And this is the only color that I liked, and it might just be because some of the other colors were more effeminate or more you know, playful, fruity. But This one right here is just the only color that I wanted. They only made 175 of each. And again, I could just be hyping it up, but I was told that the US only got about a third of these limited edition colors, and the rest of the world, because I think the brand's a little bit more popular outside the US, got the rest of them. So again, lucky to find this. This also came from that same store that I just talked about with the Oris in the middle of nowhere, Indiana. They were actually an authorized dealer of Nomos. So they actually had this limited edition. This is called the Dunkelbund. And let me just say one thing about this watch that is just amazing. I believe I saw a video that every single thing is hand manufactured, handmade. They do their own parts. They mill their own little parts. Everything is done the same. This exposed movement, if you can see it, is just absolutely stunning. But something that they've been able to do that nobody else I've ever seen do, and I mean this. This crown is absolutely teeny. This is a manual wind watch. And compared to the Omega Speedmaster or other watches that are manual wind that have way bigger crowns, they give me blisters trying to wind it. This watch has the smallest of crowns, but it just winds so easy. And I don't understand why no other watchmaker can do this, but it just winds so much easier than all the other watches. And I love it. But this is the Nomos Tangente limited edition color Dunkelbund. Alright guys, so the video kind of got a little bit long, not gonna lie. Some of the videos, when I went back and looked at them on my phone, they were like 2 minutes long. So being that there's 17 watches 2 minutes long, I thought the video would just be too long with this intro, outro, and all those watches, like 30 plus minutes. So I broke it up into 2 pieces. So please watch part 2 for the last part of the collection. Thanks for watching. And again, I can't believe that just from that one video, didn't think it would go that well. Almost 100 subscribers at this point. So thank you. And again, if you love the content, please, as cliche as it sounds, like, comment, and subscribe. Really appreciate it. Go check out part 2. Thank you.